It begins with a city that feels impossible for its time. Long before written history attempted to explain human advancement, Mohenjo-daro quietly emerged with a level of planning that still feels unsettling today. This was not a settlement that grew slowly through trial and error. Its streets were laid out deliberately, cutting straight lines through the land with intention and control. Every road seems to have known its purpose before the first brick was placed. There were no towering palaces built to glorify kings or rulers. No massive temples rose above the city to command fear or obedience. Power did not announce itself through monuments or height. Yet discipline existed everywhere, embedded in the city's very structure. Uniform bricks, repeated patterns, and hidden systems reveal a civilization that was carefully designed, not accidentally formed. What confuses historians most is not how old the city is, but how intelligently it was built. Mohenjo-daro appears to have been imagined as a complete system long before construction began. Entire neighborhoods repeat the same patterns across vast areas, suggesting centralized planning rather than individual choice. Homes follow similar dimensions, hinting at balance instead of hierarchy. Streets align with efficiency, not symbolism or decoration. Water systems were integrated directly into homes and public spaces, showing foresight rarely seen in the ancient world. Drainage was not an afterthought but a priority. Public structures served collective needs rather than elite luxury. Everything reflects restraint and discipline. Yet no royal tombs, crowns, or statues of rulers were ever discovered. Authority existed, but it chose to remain invisible. The greatest mystery is that this civilization left no readable words behind. Seals carved with symbols survive, scattered across the ruins, but their meaning remains locked in silence. No written texts explain their beliefs, laws, or leadership. There are no inscriptions praising victories or rulers. History hears no voices speaking for them. Statues depict calm, composed figures rather than gods of war or conquest. Weapons are rare, and signs of organized violence are almost absent. This was not a culture driven by expansion through force. Instead, trade connected Mohenjo-daro to distant lands peacefully. Goods, ideas, and influence traveled without armies. Power moved quietly through the exchange. Their silence became their legacy, and silence made them easy to forget. Daily life flowed through systems rather than chaos. Homes were designed to open inward, protecting privacy rather than displaying wealth. Streets guided movement smoothly, reducing congestion and confusion. Water reached homes reliably, suggesting a deep understanding of resource management. Waste disappeared beneath the ground through covered drains, keeping the city clean and functional. Hygiene appears to have been essential, not optional. Public baths suggest ritual, health, or social order. Routine shaped the rhythm of everyday life. Survival did not feel desperate or uncertain. Children grew up trusting the environment built around them. The city supported life instead of exhausting it. Civilization worked with its people, not against them. Unlike later empires, inequality was not carved into the stones of Mohenjo-daro. No district rose dramatically above another to signal dominance. Wealth did not divide the city into powerful and powerless zones. Homes remained similar in scale, suggesting social balance. Power avoided display and intimidation. Leadership, if it existed, did not rule through spectacle. Balance reduced conflict before it could even form. Fear was unnecessary where structure guided behavior. Cooperation replaced force as the foundation of stability. Social harmony appears to have been engineered into the city's design. This quiet equality held the civilization together for generations. Few ancient societies achieved such restraint. Mohenjo-daro reached distant lands without ever marching an army. While other civilizations expanded through fear and force, this city extended its influence quietly through trade. Roots stretched across regions, linking people who never saw the city itself. Beads, seals, pottery, and finely crafted goods moved slowly from hand to hand. Each exchange carried not only material value, but also shared understanding. Merchants became messengers of culture, rather than agents of domination. Trust replaced intimidation as the currency of connection. No fortresses guarded these paths. No records celebrate conquest. Wealth accumulated without destruction. Influence grew without bloodshed. Mohenjo-daro proved that reach did not require violence. Even the most carefully designed systems cannot command nature forever. Subtle changes began to appear over generations rather than years. Climate patterns shifted, altering water flow and seasonal balance. Floods tested foundations that had once seemed unbreakable. Repairs became more frequent and more demanding. Systems built for stability required constant attention. What was once effortless now demanded labor and vigilance. Small failures appeared quietly across the city. Streets still stood, but confidence weakened. Planning struggled against forces beyond prediction. Pressure accumulated without drama. The city aged before it broke. Mohenjo-daro did not end in flames, invasion, or sudden collapse. No enemy banners were raised against its walls. No mass graves tell stories of a final stand. Houses were not destroyed in panic or rage. Tools, pottery, and personal belongings were left behind as if people intended to return. Families seemed to have moved gradually, not in fear but necessity. Streets emptied slowly, not violently. Civilization withdrew step by step instead of shattering. Knowledge traveled with the people rather than remaining in stone. Life faded before destruction arrived. Silence replaced movement gently. Decline came quietly. What remained was a perfectly planned city without human presence. Without care, even the finest systems began to fail. Drains clogged as maintenance stopped. Walls weakened under weather and neglect. Floodwaters buried streets layer by layer, sealing human effort beneath earth. Nature reclaimed the space patiently. The city sank into soil and memory together. Seasons passed without footsteps or voices. Generations lived above it, unaware of what lay beneath. History moved forward elsewhere with louder civilizations. Empires rose and fell through conquest and noise. Mohenjo-daro slept silently underground. Its absence went unnoticed for centuries. When the city resurfaced, it challenged everything history assumed. Archaeologists uncovered streets too precise for their supposed age. Sanitation systems appeared more advanced than many later societies. Urban planning rivaled modern understanding. Equality contradicted the belief that ancient power required kings and hierarchy. Progress no longer looked linear or guaranteed. Civilization had advanced, stabilized, and vanished long before written records. Intelligence was clearly not exclusive to modern eras. Greatness did not ensure survival or remembrance. History had skipped an entire chapter. Mohenjo-daro returned unexpectedly, not as an answer, but as a challenge to what we thought we knew. Mohenjo-daro proves that brilliance alone does not protect a civilization. A society can be peaceful, intelligent, and organized, yet still disappear. Balance does not make a culture permanent. Silence fades faster than conquest in historical memory. History records destruction more eagerly than wisdom. Progress can pause, reverse, or vanish entirely. What survives is not always what mattered most. The city offers no speeches or warnings carved in stone. Only ruins, absence, and unanswered questions. Mohenjo-daro stands as a reminder of human potential, and a warning about how easily it can be forgotten. What do you think truly caused Mohenjo-daro to disappear so quietly? Was it nature, migration, or a choice history never recorded? Share your thoughts and theories in the comments below. Explore more lost civilizations where silence replaced greatness.